Welcome, travelers, to the first in a two-part spotlight for a mod called Cyclic. I'm not 100% sure if that's how it's pronounced. Cyclic is a miscellaneous style mod, kind of like extra utilities or random things, tiny progressions, mods like that, where there's not really a specific theme. It's just whatever. It's whatever kind of items the mod author wanted in the game, I guess. A lot of them are really cool, and while this mod does have a lot of attention on curse, not very. I don't really see it being used anywhere. None of the major mod packs that are out right now use it. There's a few that use it, but not really any. Like, it's not in any FTB mod packs. I don't know why. There's a lot of really fun stuff in here. Like, if Reliquary, I feel like it's very similar to like how Reliquary is, where it's like nothing in there is really used like to progress the mod or to progress the mod pack, but it's fun. And I think the only reason Reliquary is kind of added to FTB is because Azinor, or not Azinor, Xenophobe created it. Not Azinor, why do I think it's Azinor? Xenophobe created it, and he's kind of a celebrity in the modding community, so I feel like that's the only reason his is in there. But I really love a lot of the stuff in this mod, and I'm trying to make my own mod pack right now, an RPG style mod pack. And there's some things in here that I feel could be kind of fun to use in there. This will, like I said, this will be split into two parts. The first part will be set up between blocks. You can't really see them because it's not loaded, but blocks, ores, weapons, or weapons and tools, and potions. And then the second part will be more of the food, throwable weapons, and just miscellaneous goodies. This will be where the fun happens. But yeah, let me just set up real quick, and I'll start showing the first set of things, the different utilities. See you in a second. Alright, first off, we have the automatic fishing net. This is a fairly simple device. It literally just fishes for you. Now, this may not seem like anything special, but I'll tell you right now, fishing's boring. I don't, like, especially if you're doing a YouTube series, you don't want to sit there and fish. Unless you're really good at talking and you're able to keep people engaged. Fishing is boring. So most people, if you're gonna be going fishing, you're not fishing for food. That's not really the easiest food source anymore, unless the mod pack somehow pushes you in that direction. So if you need something, it's usually something that drops from fishing, and this is a good way to get it. Just place it down, put a hopper underneath with a chest, and come back the next day and see what you get. That's literally it. Next, we have scaffolding. It comes in 3 different types. They're all very easy to make, mostly involving just sticks. The first, we have fragile scaffolding. Fragile scaffolding basically allows you to place and keep going. So, like, let's say you have a ravine that you need to get over, you can get over it. This is the cheapest, and over time, this will just decay. We'll leave this here just to see if it actually decays. Next, or actually, hold on, it said shift. Does that mean, no, can't just, like, throw it. That'd be nice. Next, we have responsive. Responsive is, let's put it up here. And then, oh, yep, see, that just decayed on its own. And the nice thing is it actually drops it. So you can create a little bridge. But let's say you don't want to, like, this one, like, you saw these already break on their own. Like, you have to break each one of these on their own. This one, it breaks them all. It does not look like it gives you any of the others back, though. It gave me back the first one, but did not give me any of the others back. Not sure why. Next, we have replaceable scaffolding. This one is actually really cool. If you need to get across somewhere, you just do the exact same thing. But let's say you want to actually replace this eventually and create like an actual bridge. Oh, it looks like this breaks on its own too. You can right-click it with a block and it will immediately replace with whatever block you place down. But this one breaks way quicker, so you got to be quick with this. I think that needs to be maybe fixed a little bit. Alright, on to the next one. Next is something that's probably a little overpowered if it was in a normal, like, machine-based mod pack. This is the block breaker, or block miner, sorry. The block miner, most block miners in any other mod pack usually require, like, power, either, like, RF, Tesla, whatever. But this, it's either just on or off. Put a block down, and it mines. It's not the quickest, doesn't do it instantly, but it's pretty quick. And that's about as overpowered with this kind of block as you can get. And it gets worse. Or better, depending on your preference. Next, let me introduce the Block Miner Advanced. Now, let's say you don't want to just mine one. Let's say you want to mine a entire, I don't know, let's say you have just an entire 3x3 by 3 of diamond ore. And you don't want to mine every single one of them one by one. I have noticed, like, I did some testing with some of the other ones, like the one I'm about to show next, that it seems like whenever it does random block breaking, like the next one can do up to 15 by 15, but it's a little bit more, way more advanced than just on and off. It seems once it gets closer to, like, finishing, the last few blocks take way longer to find. It's like it's trying to remine some other areas that it's already mined before. But yeah, just give me a second. Let me get the next one set up. Okay, next we have the controlled miner. This one has size controls, a blacklist, and a tool slot in it. Let me just... Actually, I think I need to... You have to... The blocks face you when you put them down. Hello, Mr. Squid. How you doing out there? Alright, so this one's pretty simple. You place a tool, and this one I like because this one can be used for specific circumstances. Let's say you're on, this is just one I randomly thought of. Let's say you're on like a troll server, because I've been watching a lot of like Trollcraft lately, and let's say you're on a server or whatever, and someone goes into your house and fills it with sand or TNT, and you don't want to like go through and mine everything. Or you don't want to go through you don't want to like it to mine your entire house. You can put blacklists of certain items in here that you don't want it to mine. Like let's say like your house is made of stone, you don't want it to mine stone. That's just an example. Another one is if you wanted to clear out just an area, like a specific area to make a flat area for like a review area or so, and you wanted to get rid of just trees, but you didn't want to get rid of the grass. You could put dirt and grass in here, and it won't get rid of that. Or you could put whatever you don't want. I'm not really smart when it comes to that stuff, but it has a preview section, so you can see the area that it's going to mine. It has a max of 15. I'm not sure how high this goes. That goes 32. So 15 by 15 by 32. That is a huge, huge area. Now, it doesn't mine anything below it, so the floor is always the same level as the miner itself. So, as an example, in that area, let's just get rid of the last of these. Give it a tool. And set it on. Oh. Let's fix that. The 15 by 15 was too much. Fix my wall. Well, that mines some diamonds for me. But yeah, as you can see, it is just mining. It doesn't care. Very simple, but overpowered. It's a miner, and once again, it doesn't use power. It's free. I'm only a few blocks in, and I'm already showing how overpowered this mod is. And it'll be to be fair, some of these are really expensive crafting-wise. Like, some of these smaller blocks that you would think aren't that powerful involve diamond blocks or beacons even. I don't really know what takes what. I think this one's just lapis and iron. You can kind of tell from the top, but still. And also, it's slow. It's not going to be super fast. Like, if you're going to use this to mine things, you're going to want some kind of vacuum hopper or something, which this mod does provide something similar to that. But we'll get to that when we get to that. But for now, that's the controlled miner. Let me get to the next item. Alright, next, shearing block. I have a feeling I know exactly what this does. Do you... Yeah, there we go. I'm guessing you put this in the floor. You could probably, like, there's another block in here, which I feel like you could basically just, if you were going to use just vanilla in this, you could just have the sheep fall into a water pool, go over this, and as they go over this, they get sheared. But it shears them. That's all it does. It shears sheep. Bah. Naked sheep party. Alright, on to the next item. Next, bucket storage. They hold buckets. You ever need a bucket? It holds it. I keep doing the wrong... Sorry, I'm not very good at this. Not 100% sure. Oh, you'll left click to put it in. I'm stupid. That's basically it. Right click to pull something out. Right click to, or left click to put it in. Each one holds one plus the bucket. So basically, if you ever need, to be honest, I have no idea what situations you would use this in. I really don't, because you need a bucket full of X liquid. It's not just a tank that holds a certain amount of liquid, which would be a little bit more useful, especially milk. I'd love to be able to have some... I'm still waiting for a mod to do stackable, like, milk, where I can just have a stack of 64 or at least 16 things of milk and use them in the nether for gathering wither skeleton skulls. But yeah, it just holds a bucket of the 3 liquids. That's it. Pretty simple. Next. Alright, here we go. Here we have the automated user. It's basically an autonomous activator kind of thing. This, I tried a few different items to see what works. I tried putting potions and other stuff in there, or certain items that actually have a right-click functionality. The only thing I really could get to work was things like tools. Basically, you can set it to attack and use, and every time it fills up, it attacks you and kills you. And now I have no idea where I am, and I need to get back to the review area. I'll be back in a sec with the next item. Alright, here we have the structure builder. This one is, I think this is one of the ones that's a little bit more expensive. Basically, you choose a shape. You got facing, which gives you a small wall in front of you, which you can determine the height and the size. The size, I think, is how long it is, and the height, obviously, is how high it is. So you can make a really big wall. So, yeah. Not going to make those jokes right now, but you got square, which... That's the thing. This one, like, if you notice... Oh, don't know what that is. It puts it around. When you're creating a square, I noticed this is the bottom center. So it will create a square, like a room, which I use that to make this right here. I use that block to make this little square box that I'm standing in right now. You can create a circle, which uses basic, circles. Solid, exactly as it seems. I think that one actually does... Let me see. Yeah, that one is like a plane. And the size is the by. So it's like... Yeah, it's like 2 out in each direction. You have to mess around with that one. Stairway is nice. Creates yourself a little stairway. It'd be nice if there was a downward stairway. Or like maybe like the miner. If there was a miner that actually created like a stairway that goes straight down. That would be nice. Sphere. I think that's the solid version of... or no, that's just the top half of a sphere. And facing in. This one's kind of interesting. This one is just... It just builds for you. It makes certain things easier. So, this is one I can actually see myself using quite a bit in the beginning, but it should be pretty cheap. I think it's just it looks like it's just redstone and obsidian. I know I could look at the recipes, but everyone in the world has JEI. So, just for the hell of it. Oh, this one's actually kind of expensive. This one does have obsidian, but it's got diamond block and gas tiers. Ugh, that's not being used for early base building, that's for sure. But you can create really large structures. So if you need to create a really large box or a really large sphere or whatever, this could be what you could use for it. Alright, let me get to the next one. Whoa. Yeah, I'm using just so you know, I'm using a development build for 1.10. And that item gets a lot smaller in the next version, from what I've seen. Alright, next. Alright, next we have the harvester. This one is also a pretty simple block. You basically choose the space that you want, all the way up to 15 by 15. So this could be really, really powerful, honestly. I haven't seen how powerful or how quickly this works, but I'm going to put it back to 3 by 3. Obviously, that's saying it's covering this area. Oh, let's not... Let's just get everything fully grown and not pre-harvest it because of other mods I have installed. Okay, so we have all our wheat fully grown, or whatever crop that you choose. Turn it on. There you go. Again, it doesn't collect it automatically because it's a free resource. You know, no RF needed, no Tesla needed. So you will need some kind of item magnet or item collector. And you might have noticed it pre-plants it. It plants it all for you. Oh. Wait a second. Okay, it's a little broken. Is it seriously giving me... Okay, it seems to have stopped. Okay, it's not giving me any more. Okay, I thought it was giving me free stuff for a second there. I guess it kind of did a little bit. It's a little broken, and I don't care. It's nice. Alright, let me just get to the... Let me set up the next one. Simple one here. This is a block placer. I probably should have had this one out earlier. This one just... It places blocks. Basically, you have that there, block breaker here, and it goes dint, 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 and it would just keep going. Break it. Places another one. It's not the fastest, but it does it for free. That's it. Next. Now, this one looks a little confusing. This one is the pattern replicator. This one is also pretty similar. Let me just get a couple of random blocks. Whatever is in, like, now, let me just clarify, this is not the only shape. You can make this much bigger, make that one much bigger. Basically, whatever is inside the purple, let's say I'll just do a little 3x3. So, right there, there's a 3x3 in this exact spot in the purple. Throw some of these in here, turn it on, and it uses what's in here to create it over there. It does it kind of slowly. It is still free, but it's a little slow. And you'll notice it's doing exactly the same. You'll notice how these 3 were aligned up, these 5 are aligned on their sides. You'll notice that these 5 or whatever are on their side. This one will be when it's done any second now. It's getting dark out. Maybe it needs daylight. Yeah, like I said, it seems to be whenever it gets down to its last process, it seems to go really slow. It's still free. I know I keep throwing that out there, but in this world of where we are in mod packs and mods, machines aren't free. They use energy, whether they're a high amount of energy or a low amount of energy. This is still a machine that does the same thing as other better machines, but free. That's what makes this so good. All right, we only got a little bit more left in that one, and then the rest is all pretty easy. So let's get on to the next item. This one, I'll tell you right now, is probably not a cheap one. It looks like it takes 2 diamond blocks, redstone in the corner. I like how you can actually kind of see what was used in crafting it in the actual, like, block design. That's kind of cool. Alright, enough. Let's get to the next item. Alright, here we have the entity detector. This one is pretty simple. You can set it between pretty much anything, like any living, any items, experience orbs, or any players. And I'm not good with redstone, but basically the idea is, let me just get some redstone. Put some redstone out. Right now the redstone power is 0. Okay, so alright, so there's less than 2 players. But when there's 1, yeah, basically if you know how to use redstone, you can use this to set up things. So basically, like, you could set this up, like, let me try something. Now this only works if you're not in a small area and your door is, like, not right next to your area, but I don't know, you could set this right here, set it up to equal to 1, am I doing? I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if this gives out... Oh. I guess that thing doesn't... I guess the door doesn't go to redstone signal. Basically, if you know how to use redstone, you could use this to do a lot of... Yeah, open the door. Whenever I see this... Whenever I use this door, I expect to hear like a... sound whenever it opens and closes, but it makes nothing. I'm not really good with redstone stuff, but basically it's an entity detector. It's exactly like any other entity. I feel like Nemo. Entity detector. It works like any other one from any other mod. But yeah. All right, let me just get to the next one before I embarrass myself anymore. All right, next item, a fan. Pretty simple. It pushes. And it does show how far it pushes. That's nice. A lot of fans in other mods, it's just the effect. There's no particles to tell you what blocks are being affected. Wow. You can actually set them pretty high. That is a powerful fan. Most fans do not go 32 blocks. You could really, really set this. And you can set it to pull. Wow. Oh. Yeah, it's... it is powerful. Once something's in there, it's not getting out. It's stuck. Nope, he escaped. That's pretty much it. You can have particles on or off if you don't like to see the particles. And push or pull. That's pretty much it. Wow, they're floating. You know, when they say pigs fly. Alright. That's pretty much that. That is a very useful item. The experience pylon it's actually a pretty nice device. Even though I don't really like the concept of bottled experience, because bottled experience, people don't understand that just because a bottle of experience can give you experience doesn't mean it's a set amount. People always forget that it's like between, I think it's like 7 and 11 experience or something. So it's a very random number. You could put, like, let's say this machine has like 100 experience in exactly, and it gives you X amount of bottles. You can either get more or less than what you put in to those bottles. So it's very random, but it does have something to like help that. So just as a start, basically, let's say you have a mob grinder nearby and you don't have something else that this is your only way to gather experience. You just throw experience at it. So that was 32 bottles right there of experience. And now it doesn't tell you how much that is, but you have two options. You can either bottle it, which it takes a while, or spray it. Basically, that's if you want to get the experience back yourself. Now, this one I feel is a little bit more, like, yes, you have to, like, walk around it and get your experience, but you could put it somewhere smaller that it won't be able to fly around. But you'll get more experience back that way than through the bottles, I feel. But that's pretty much the experience pylon. This is a newer item. The texture and model is, as you can tell from the black and purple particles. The model isn't finished. It's a little more refined in the next version from what I saw. I'm using 1.10 right now. There is a version for 1.11, which is a little further ahead in development, and I'm hoping that he kind of updates 1.10 some more. But yeah. Alright, this is one of my favorite blocks in this mod. It's called the Uncrafting Grinder. ever since the original, I would say the 1.47, the 1.4.7 version of Minecraft, which I did do a series on shortly, there was a mod called Twilight Forest, which hasn't been updated in a little bit. It was in 1.7.10, but it kind of stopped after a little while. There was no more updates to it. And there used to be an uncrafting table in that mod. And it was pretty simple. It was just basically you put an item in and it gave you the crafting recipe back and you could pull the crafting items out. This one is basically the machine version of that. You just put an item in, and now let me just say an example. I tried this before. You cannot cheat the system. You put that in, you'll see down here, no recipe found. And when it's done, now this is cool for automation. I love this. It actually puts the item into the outbound spot. So you could have a hopper with a ton of items that you want to uncraft, and if something doesn't uncraft, it goes into there and it gets sucked out into whatever storage system you have all your stuff in. But if you have an item that can be uncrafted, you just give it a second. And boom. Gives you exactly what was used to create it. And it even knows certain things, like even though it says it's crafting, not enough items to satisfy requests. It knows that there's a thing that gives you sticks, but it knows that you need 4 sticks in order to get it. This is cool. Get some sticks. Yeah, lots of sticks. 2 more. Put 4 sticks in. And you get wooden planks back. You can do that all the way back to wood and all that stuff. Like, it's really, really cool. This is probably, when it comes to the blocks, probably one of my favorite. I can definitely see myself using this one quite a bit for certain situations. Alright, we only got a few more blocks left to go, and we'll be done with part 1. Alright, let me get the next one set up. Okay, next we have an item I mentioned a couple of times already. The item magnet. Now, this one, there's no GUI. And basically, you just throw it. And it sucks it closer. Closer and closer. That's pretty much it. It sucks in items. It says right in there, pulls items and XP every 100 ticks. On by default, can be turned off by giving it a redstone power. Giving it redstone power. That's pretty much all there is to it. It's an item magnet. Next, because it's also, we're getting into the flat items. There's a bunch more, but they're only going to be in 2 more sets. This one is the interdiction plate. This one, if anyone remembers the interdiction torch, or the old, I don't remember what the old one was called, but it was like there was the interdiction torch, which basically you place it down and it forced mobs to like walk away. I might have to get out of peaceful for this one, just to be able to spawn a hostile mob. Let's just spawn a spider. Very simple concept. Should push him away. Is it pushing away? Yeah, see how it's kind of pushing him? It just pushes in all directions outward every few ticks. Making it so that they can't, like, get closer. You basically could just set a bunch of these, yeah, every 20 ticks for a range of 32 blocks. So I could place this all around the outside of here, and for 32 blocks in every direction, mobs will kind of just be slowly pushed away. Like, it won't stop any mobs that are already in here. They'll get pushed away. They'll probably get pushed inward more than anything. But yeah, that's pretty much what those two do. Alright. Let's get to the next items. I'm just gonna go straight into it. I'm sick of this. Let me know if you guys prefer what I was doing before, because I'm gonna this is kind of a new thing for me. Whether you guys prefer the cuts between each item, or if you would prefer I just go back to the chest and just grab the items out of it. I guess that way you guys can see how many items are left. These are... Oh, don't want you yet. Grabbed one too many. These are called slime plates. You got the soft slime plate, and the hardened slime plate. Basically, they make you bounce. This one doesn't make you bounce very high. This one makes you bounce pretty high. And that one makes you bounce really high. That's pretty much all it is to it. And it kills you. Oh, lag, lots of lag. I always get lag when I die. I don't know why. Alright, give me a second while I try to get back. Be warned. Unlike slime blocks, you cannot hold shift to stop bouncing. So, really? Alright. Let's get to the next 4. Let's skip the other jumping thing for now. Here we have conveyor belts. These ones I might actually need more than one of to show what they can do. So let's just grab a stack of each one just to make things easier. Here we have... I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's the direction that you're holding them. So let's just put down... They kind of attract you. I don't know speeds, but it's like there's regular, like these are just called slime, the light purple. That's about as fast as you go. It kind of forces you into the center of them, so if you like you place let's say you have like a mob grinder, this will like you'll see I go on from the side, and it seems to kind of like force me into the center of them. Oh, but that one's that. I think that might be a middle of the road one. This is called slowest, which is really slow. So slow that it actually stops me in between each one for the block. That one's kind of slow. And then I would say this is normal, so that one's probably in between these two, which would make sense color-wise. And then that one just speeds you along. Basically, it's depending on what kind of thing you want. I think it works on items. Yeah, items work. It's kind of fun. And I got an achievement.tile.plate _push 1. Or not 1. Bracket. Alright. Let's just get to the... Yeah, just put these in here. This is the last of the technical blocks for now. Basically, it's a recreation of the Portal mod's interdiction plate, which was based off Portal. Works almost exactly the same. You choose a direction. I'm not going to be messing with this because I don't want to die. So, actually, maybe I can... No, I don't want to die. Basically, I'll just throw an item on there. Of course, it doesn't work. And I'm dead. Get rid of all these. I don't feel like dying anymore in this review. I'm not going to review this item. This is the password trigger. I tried messing around with it. I get the idea. Basically, you set up a password and you use it to access something. It's basically you want to send a redstone signal based on a password. I tried for like 20 minutes. I could not figure it out. I guess you could look at other people's reviews or like look on like the the actual page maybe, and there might be an answer, but I couldn't figure it out. The rest of the items are pretty simple. It adds a bunch of ores of the different types for both nether and end. That's pretty self-explanatory. They're exactly the same as the overworld variant, except you find them in the end and nether respectively. It adds emerald armor and tools, sandstone tools. It doesn't add any sandstone weapons. It adds a few unique items, though. I'm just going to show all of these real quick. The armor set is pretty unique. Each one does something different. The helmet gives you night vision, which actually right-clicking the item, not in your hand, but right-clicking on the item in your inventory turns it on and off. Sneak at full speed. Walk up full blocks, which I could not get to work. And walk on liquid. Let's just test some of these. Like sneak. Here I am sneaking. You can see I'm sneaking. And it's as if I'm walking. Weirdly, like, here's me jumping at sprint. Here's me, like, here's me crouch walking and jumping. I'm able to actually jump way farther. And if I was out in a field, this would be such an easy way to travel. I don't know if that's intentional, but yeah. It says I could walk up full blocks. I'm trying to do it while sprinting, jump sprinting. I don't know if it means like... It might mean... well, let's check. Yeah, I think that's it is. I think it means step assist. Because it's giving me step assist. But I think I already had step assist beforehand. So... Like, let me take it off. Yeah, see, I already had it beforehand. I'm not sure what's giving it to me. But, yeah. And walk on liquids. Let's see if that actually works. Yeah. I am now Jesus. I don't... And that's what I like. You can actually hit shift. And get under the water. It's really nice. It's the only real armor set, but it does something unique with each piece where you don't have to have the full set, but it's nice. Personally, I would like if the walk on liquids and sneak at full speed were both armor enchantments instead of exclusive to this armor. It would be nice if you could kind of, like, a secret thing would be, if you did something with these armors, you could get like a enchanted book for it. Like you have to craft these items and then you do something with them to get the book. I don't know. I'm just kind of thinking out loud. The Matic. This is... I don't know if I was using it right, but let me just... I don't know. Let's just do it here. It does a 3x3. I don't know how... It doesn't mention 3x3. So I don't know if 3x3 is the default or if it's changeable in any way. It just says it's both a pickaxe and a shovel. It does the same thing on grass. Does 3x3. That's basically... And it's kind of fast. That's pretty much it for that. This one's nice. This one is... Let me just show you how good this is. You're probably thinking meh, doesn't seem to do anything. You right click. And you kill everything. From a far distance, too. Give me one of these for, like, actual animals. Create a weapon set all the way from, like, wood to diamond of this, but attacks all entities around you by right-clicking. That would be so nice. Speaking of entities, I don't need you guys anymore. So you can go away. This one, I already tested a tiny bit, as you could tell. It destroys leaves. It just... nothing. This makes Getting rid of leaves so much easier. That's better than Vein Miner, in my opinion. And the last one, it basically is just you plant, and it just basically the same as the one thing did, except for it harvests all plants and then replants them back. It's really, really useful, but you've already seen basically this. You basically get the idea of how this works. And last item, long range sheep shearing. Truthfully, I wonder, like, what just happened? It just threw my shears. Okay, never mind. Let me get those back. I guess you're supposed to throw them. I thought it was gonna just be like you point at sheep and it sheared them. Let me just grab a sheep. Whoa. How much wool did that give? That gave me just... But it did not give me the thing back. So you get double the wool from range, but it's one-time use. How expensive is this? Oh, you get Oh, it's stackable. I did not know that. That's cool. That's cool. Don't look at me. Alright, let's get into the next items. Throw all that stuff away. Basic tools. You can see from their stats what they do, their durability. They're basically, I'm gonna guess Emerald is probably tiny bit better than Diamond. This is exactly the same as Diamond, so they're probably exactly the same as Diamond. Sandstone are just early tools. They're basically a replacement for stone if you end up in a desert as you start. Last few items. This is just potions. I'm not going to sit here and test every single potion, but you can kind of guess what they do. Health boost gives you absorption hearts. Potion of Ender, no damage from Ender Pearl. This is another one. Potion of Ender, I feel like it's a potion I would never use. I would never want to take a potion just to stop damage from Ender Pearls, suffocation, and make Enderman drop more XP. Maybe if I was going to the end, I would probably drink one of these right before I went Ender Pearl hunting, because then I would just get more XP in general. But I feel like this Ender Aura should be an enchantment, not a potion. There's a couple of things I feel like that. Haste, that's pretty simple. Levitation, that's the potion effect you get from shulkers. I wouldn't really see a use for that one. It could be useful if you're just trying to get up somewhere real quick. Potion of Luck, I think that makes your fishing better. Potion of Magnet, that is one I'm okay with being a potion, because there's so many mods that add a magnet enchantment, and I don't ever want my main piece of armor to have magnet on. I always like my magnets to either be temporary or on and off. So a potion of magnet makes it so that things are magneted to you, but only for the duration that you have the potion on. It's not forever. And if you really want it off right away, you could always drink some milk with that bucket of milk block. Potion of Resistance, which I've always wondered why is not already a potion, so that's good that that's in there. Potion of Slow Fall makes it so that you fall slower. Snow Potion. This one is interesting. It took me... I'll show what this one does in the next episode, because it's kind of interesting. There's a throwable item, which just so you guys know in the next video which one it is. When you see me mess around with this one, you'll see what the potion of snow does. Yeah, the Snow Potion. Swim Speed Potion makes you swim faster. Vicious Potion, I have no idea. I really have no idea. And Water Walk, which is, like I said, should be an enchantment. That's basically it for part 1. I'll get to part 2 in a little bit. I have some more stuff I need to do right now, but I just now noticed it's raining. My first mod review, and of course at some point it had to rain. It's not a mod review without rain. But yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys in the next part. So until then, I hope you have a nice day. Bye-bye.